views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect the official views of Real TV, its management, or affiliates. Content is provided for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to Bridging the Gap. Welcome, Trinidad and Tobago, Real TV family, Bridging the Gap family. It's a wonderful Monday, a new start to the weekend, like I'm still in the weekend. This is a new start to the week. I hope everybody is well rested to take on a brand new week in the month of June. June is almost over. You know how the year flying fast. So, going into our show today, you know we always have to touch on a little bit of this, a little bit of that, because we deal with societal and social issues right here in our land. Sometimes we touch on the Caribbean and internationally. And I hope you all had a safe long weekend. I know some people, I saw a lot of accidents that took place over the weekend. There were some murders, one in Maloney, a businessman who got murdered. So it was a kind of bittersweet weekend for some. I know some of you all enjoyed your Father's Day. I hope it was a safe one for you all, an enjoyable one with the children, family, friends, and so forth. And you know, we're in the World Cup season. Today, my team, I'm not sure what time we are playing France. I'm a strong France supporter. So I know my team is playing today. So, you know, a bit anxious, but I know we will do well in our game today. But before we touch on stuff, you know, sometimes we have to applaud where the praise is due for you. And this is a young schoolboy. And they said a notable act of honesty has captured the attention of hundreds online. The incident involves a student from Sandy Grande Government Primary School who found $120 and chose to hand it over to the school's office immediately. This commendable act has led to the student receiving praise for demonstrating integrity, responsibility, and strong character. The school officials have highlighted this decision as a shining example of doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. The incident quickly gained traction on social media, with many applauding the student's actions and acknowledging the values being instilled within the school community. Online commenters noted that acts of honesty like these deserve recognition, especially in an era where positive stories involving youth can serve as an inspiration to many. And I want to say hats off to this young man. You could see he was well brought up. That is what you call good upbringing. Because we know it have some students that see $120 and they're not returning it. Because if nobody ain't own it, it goes into their pocket. But we still have to recognize the ones that have some honesty in them. And he was a child, you could see he was well brought up. And hats off to him, to his parents, his family, and to the Sandy Grande Government Primary School. It still has some hope for our young people in Trinidad and Tobago today. So I want to give him a little clap. And we in Trinidad and Tobago, we are very proud of you. Very, very proud of you. I will get this young man's name and, you know, give him that recognition again before the show ends. And then we had some sad news. So a 45-year-old businessman was found murdered inside his Arima home on Saturday after relatives became concerned when he stopped answering his calls. Police identified the victim as Sterling Francois, owner of Kaiva General Contractors. And investigators discovered his blood-covered body upstairs in his residence at Terrestrial Development, along with a blood-stained cutlass believed to be the murder weapon. According to police, Francois returned home Friday night with an unidentified male visitor. Surveillance inquiries indicate the man left shortly after midnight carrying a knapsack before entering a waiting pickup truck and driving away. Investigators later learned that several valuables, including Francois' iPhone, laptop, PlayStation, and wallet, were missing from the home. A plastic cup believed to have been used by the suspect was also recovered as evidence. Police are continuing investigations into the killing and robbery. That's really sad though. And then the next thing too, really sad that, you know, you trust somebody enough that you bring them into your home thinking that you all are good friends or probably relatives, who knows who is the suspect. And then this unfortunate incident to happen. So that means you can't trust nobody, especially in your homes. I just be real particular when people coming in my place. I think my whole family, particular about people coming in your place. You have to be careful. You cannot trust any and anybody coming into your home. All skin teeth is not laugh. Because it will have people that you think is your friend and there's your enemy deep down inside. They're planning and gunning for you. So we have to be very mindful of the people we have in our own personal space, our surroundings, in our home. We have to be very, very, very careful. Because when you think that they have your back, they don't have your back, you know, they want to stab you in that same setback. So you have to be very, very careful and mindful. Then the next thing now, even over the weekend or last week, I should say, and this is very dangerous, and I find a lot of people complaining about this issue, and this is the large African snail. I know a lot of people have seen it in their yards. I have seen two. And they are very dangerous. They are not to be touched. They are poisonous. They can kill you. And they say how to identify, often 5 to 10 centimeters long, but can grow larger. Reddish brown shell with lighter cream or yellowish stripes. They feed more than 500 species of plants, including vegetables, fruits, and ornamental plants. Causes major damage to farms and gardens. Can carry parasites such as rat lungworm, which may pose a health risk to humans if proper hygiene is not followed. What you can do, if you find one, avoid handling it with bare hands. Wear gloves or use a tool to collect it. Wash your hands and make sure and wash your hands properly. Report significant infestation to the Trinidad and Tobago Ministry of Agriculture. Interesting fact, the giant African snail is considered one of the world's most destructive, invasive land snails and is officially recognized as a pest of quarantine importance in Trinidad and Tobago. The national trade, right, so that was that. So you have to be very careful when you see these snails. And there's a video of one where a lady saw so many of them in her yard in Tobago. There's an infestation in Tobago where the African snails are taking over people's homes, their yard spaces, where they are unable to maneuver how they want to move properly. So that was one thing. But one of the hot topics, what happened over the weekend on Labor Day, and yet again, Alyssa Phillip was arrested. And this time they said for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. I don't know what is the vendetta they have of this young lady. I really don't know what is the vendetta. But in an SOE, and I was asking this question, if you were being charged, if you were charged for the same incident that happened in Port of Spain, and it transpired again, to me it was a bit perplexed. Because I don't know if you're on a charge, and then you go back doing the same thing that you're on a charge for, if that would have implicated her. It was just a question. But the National Trade Union Center of Trinidad and Tobago, which is NATUC, and the Joint Trade Union Movement have condemned what they describe as an excessive police action during Labor Day celebrations in Fyzabad on June 19th. And from my understanding, she was invited to speak at the Labor March, from my understanding. So she was brought there, invited by 2 labor unions that asked her to speak at some point where, because I think they just stop the walk, stop and talk and so forth. And she was asked to speak. What was a bit confusing for me too, they stop and shake the young lady's hand, the deputy commissioner and the commissioner of police. They stopped, they spoke with her, and not knowing, allegedly, their plan was to arrest her if she had come there, allegedly. You stop, shake her hand, and then bring a riot squad and arrested her and her mother yet again. Yes, we're in a SOE, but what is so wrong, to me, I feel like we cannot come out and stand up for what is right or what we believe in. And it is very unfortunate that she's continuously being targeted. But we're going for a break, and I want to continue because I have little snippets that I want to show you all. It was really unfortunate, and I know a lot of people in Trinidad and Tobago were disgusted by the acts of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. But we're going for a break, and when we come back, bridging the gap.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us.
Ladies and gentlemen, young people, senior citizens, it is my pleasure and privilege to invite you to look at the program Inspired on Real TV at 2 p.m. every Wednesday afternoon. Inspired is designed to lift your spirits, to help you overcome depression and failure so you could be an outstanding, extraordinary success. We have special experts every Wednesday who will inspire you to do better, to be your best self. So may God bless you. And remember, every Wednesday at 2 p.m., please look out for the program inspire.
Hello everyone, I'm Kwesi Park. I invite you to join me right here on Real TV for the program Unfiltered Youth. This series will engage a panel of young persons from a very diverse cross-section of our society, talking or discussing the real issues affecting them in their daily lives. So join me right here on Real TV on Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. with repeats on Sundays and Wednesdays.
Hi, I'm Zalisa Budu Singh Rupani, and I'm inviting you to join me for Conversations with Zalisa right here on Real TV. It's not just another talk show, it's a space for real stories, real insight, and real impact. We cover it all: health, law, parenting, relationships, drug and substance abuse, mental health, social issues, and so much more, with expert guests who help bring clarity to life's most important questions. So whether you're looking to be informed, empowered, or simply inspired, this show is for you. Weekdays at 10 a.m. with repeats on Real TV.
This is what Clay Patrol look like. Watch them.
We could even right front. Yo, I'm talking to Fiola right now. You get up.
She has been before. That is exactly what it is.
So that's when they arrested her. Welcome back. So she would have been taken into the police vehicle. In the videos they were saying, other videos, she was saying she wasn't holding up a placard. Why target her? But there were other people who were walking in that same said group. They had placards and they were not targeted. So all of that was confusing to me. Why target this individual alone, and there are other people that are in the march that were holding placards? But the other thing too, I was trying to get that clip. I saw it and I was searching for that clip where the officers were talking to her. I'm a real fair person. The officers were talking to her and her attitude was a bit rowdy. You have to understand this. We have some police officers who don't understand, and we have some police officers that don't tolerate people with no rowdy behavior. She didn't curse, but she had a very rowdy behavior and she was pulling back her hand, and I understand the frustration because you want to know why every time you come out there you're being targeted. But you have to understand too, we know SOE, them police don't care. We had to play it safe. You had to play it safe. Because you're already a target, and the behavior was you had a rowdy kind of, you was pelting back your hand, and it was a kind of rowdy behavior. I understand your frustration at the same time, but you have to understand them police in SOE right now, especially in a labor march, and especially if you protesting against them, they're going to lock you up. So in everything that we do, we have to be sensible. Because right now it's a ticklish situation. And we have a police commissioner. Let me leave him right there. So I have a next clip to show you. And I want you all to see. I don't know why they're targeting this young girl, but at the same time, Dudu darling, sugar plum honey pie. You have to know how to move. Stand for what is right to know. What you believe is right. But you have to know how to deal with these officers. Because some of them have no social skills and some of them, they're not going to tolerate your rowdy behavior. So we have a next clip. If we can play that clip, please.
Shameful. Fragile egos.
This is great PR for the police service. Great PR.
There's a bunch of black men doing
Oh,
this.
you're shameful.
Black men.
Oh, you're shameful.
I cannot imagine it.
You're a shameful. And your ego is fragile.
She underworks, not arrest.
Oh my God. This is ridiculous.
Let me tell you something, how Riot Squad, this move. I had an experience with them years ago. Where I realized, I went to police complaints, so was a whole, two officers came and did apologize to me after, because my video, it was a viral video. And they came, two of them, reached out to me on social media and did apologize. And they said the matter was handled wrongfully. And I say, you know what? I am fighting no police and no court. Number one, that case going on drag for years. Number two, I don't trust nobody outside here. So, I not play with my 3 points. But what you have to understand, when you see the riot squad outside, make sure you behave yourself, you know. Because they don't talk. Riot squad not coming to ask you no question. They may come in to hear what you have to say. That's not their job. Their job is to maintain order. You will get some proper dragging and licks. And they carry you down in the station. Them don't talk. So from the time you see the riot squad and you start to get on, yes, I understand. You're feeling attacked. But when you see the riot squad out there, and I am sure there are lots of police officers that do not agree with what transpired and what is transpiring. I am very sure. But they have to go with the directives of their superiors. It's how some of them, they're just wicked. plain talk manners that we be fair. Some of them, they're a little wicked. But from the time I know I stand up for my rights and the police come to talk to me twice and 3 times, and I see that riot squad across the road, bet your bottom dollar, I go and humble myself, you know. Because them just waiting for you to slip. You were supposed to humble yourself, the police officer. Yes, he probably was, he didn't have no understanding. He wasn't somebody you could have reached, you could not talk to. But you had to humble yourself. We in a SOE. Yes, we don't agree with some things that are going on in the SOE. But at the same time, we have to know how to play the system. You have to know how to play the system. It is very unfortunate, and I find it was dotishness. So I was asking if you're on a charge or something again, you could go back and, because you know in the SOE, laws and rules just tend to change. The rule of law just go out the window. So you have to be very careful. When you want your things to get across to the nation, and especially in the SOE and the police come to talk to you according to the people, the popo come to talk to you, I would have stayed quiet for a while, humble myself a little bit, and then jump back again. You have to know how to play the system. Because remember, the police in the mind, they done bad, so you can't be bad with the police too, you know. We have to be mindful and very careful with the things that we do. But it said in a joint statement, the organizations expressed concern over the armed police presence during the event, saying Labor Day should remain a space where workers and citizens can peacefully express their views. And that is quite right. Labor Day is a sacred occasion for workers and their families. It is a day that commemorates the struggles, the sacrifices, and the achievements of the working class and serves as a platform for the free and democratic expression of workers' views and concerns, the statement said. Trade union bodies said while they acknowledged that permission was granted for the Labor Day March, it had become customary over the years for non-union groups and individuals to participate in the celebration, and that is true. So why now is a problem? All of a sudden, I personally find everything a citizen do, a civilian do, is a problem. And we are being muzzled a bit. People in the media, they are being muzzled. Citizens are being muzzled. Everything that we do, there are so many limitations, you don't even know how to move. The statement addressed the arrest of the activist Alyssa Phillips and her mother Camille Carrasquero. NATUC General Secretary Michael Anizet said he witnessed the detention and claimed certain police officers physically roughed up the 2 women and pushed aside his teenage daughter while trying to detain Phillips. But we're going for a break and our next clip, because we're going to continue before we go to our main topic. Bridget Cap.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us. In a world full of noise, choose clarity. The Real News digital publication is your choice for important news coverage. From influential figures shaping our nation to a powerful week in review that keeps you informed. The weekly edition is available for download on all of our social media platforms. Smart, sharp, essential. Real News digital publication informed, stay educated, stay empowered.
Are you looking for the right space for your business? Fred's Plaza has the space you need. We offer professional rental spaces designed for growing businesses. Conveniently located in San Juan on the Eastern Main Road, opposite the PTSC terminal and between Royal Castle and Mario's. Easy access, high visibility. For inquiries, call or WhatsApp 868-384-7142 today, or visit Level 3 Fred's Plaza for details.
The Ambassador's Daughter, weekdays at 11 a.m., only on Real TV.
A few moments later.
A clip there for me. Yeah, what I wanted to play it over. Because in the beginning, they shook her hand. Right? If I know you was coming to lock me up allegedly wrong time, me want to shake her. Plain talk bad now. Don't come and shake my hand because I have shaken at the seat. Don't shake my hand. But you watch me bad eye, watch me cut eye, so I can get a little heads up that you ain't like me too much. Let me be real. Don't come and shake my hand and then you have a riot squad waiting for me. Play that clip again.
A few moments later.
So the statement says, these three women did not deserve to be treated like common criminals. The excessive actions of the police were totally uncalled for. I agree. Wholly unacceptable and cannot be justified under any circumstances because the peaceful actions of these three women pose no security threat or threat to the safety of the public, the statement said. The National Trade Union, right, so that was it. But let me tell you something. I don't know if people know. The riot squad don't ever act gentle with nobody. Nobody. That is not their job. I never see a riot squad touch somebody and say, here, no, come here. No, move to the side. Come, no, sit down in the van. You mad, they're dragging you. That is how they train. Just drag you getting drag. Where you feel like going and baby you up? No. That's what I tell you, when I see riot squad, I just respect them people proper. They will come to skin and laugh and kicky kakan and be gentle. Them don't do that. They will treat you like a common criminal. So Natuk and JTOM said law enforcement authorities have a responsibility to maintain public order while respecting citizens' constitutional rights and dignity. Well, I really feel them care about that right now? Let me be real. You feel them care about that right now? No. The organization said the use of intimidation, excessive force, actions that create fear among participants undermines public confidence in the public service. They added that concerns held by the police could have been handled differently while preserving the significance of Labor Day. Labor Day belongs to the workers of Trinidad and Tobago. It must never become an occasion where citizens feel threatened or intimidated for peacefully expressing their views. And I agree with that too. But common sense will tell Trinidad and Tobago there's no understanding right now as we speak in our country. There's no kind of diplomacy, no understanding among citizens and the higher authority as we speak in Trinidad and Tobago. So anything is anything right now. So everything you do, you have to be mindful. So when she went to that march and she saw the commissioner of police and he shook her hand, she probably said, yeah, what? She gets a little confidence. But not all shake hand means it's a friendly shake hand. Don't fall in that trap. Don't fall in that trap. I love for a young person, she can speak eloquently. You could see that she's intelligent. And you see she's a fighter. She's going down. But there's always a but. At this point in time, I won't be too surprised. Knock her shame out. They wouldn't arrest that young lady. They would not arrest her. Because they know what her fight is and what she is fighting for. And I have to tell you, she's real brave. Because I wasn't doing that. You see my peace of mind, my freedom, and I tell all you, I allergic to silver bracelets. I can't take lockup, I'm afraid lockup bad. I done smally already, they go real take advantage of me inside there. So she brave, she real brave, and I commend her for that, I commend her for her bravery. But you had to play it smart. You have to play the game smart. And I'm glad that she has the backings of the different trade unions. I'm very happy that the different trade unions standing 10 toes behind her. And hats off to you. But you see right now, especially that situation, you have to know how to play it safe. So, that was the end of that. So you saw the little nitty-gritties of Labor Day. And I'm very happy that they were given the permission to have their Labor Day march, which is deserved. And our democratic rights. I telling all you, Uriah Butler must be rolling in the grave. Eric Williams must be rolling in the Gulf of Paria. Pandey rolling in the sea. And Manning rolling in the grave. I'm telling you, Because you see the condition that we reach to now in Trinidad and Tobago. Those 4 leaders not resting. But I'm going to leave that there. So we go into our main topic today. And I spoke about this before. And I will talk about it again because I agree 100%. And I'm glad that Norway did it. So many other countries did it as well. And before I go into that, I was having a conversation with some friends of mine, and one of my friends, a guy, he said he asked his niece to write down, without using a tablet, without using Google, without using ChatGPT and Chatbox and Chatbot or whatever you just call it. And he gave her some questions because end of term coming up. And she did not know anything. So he said, how you get to do all your essays and things for homework? And you know what she said? ChatGPT. Because when you ask ChatGPT to do something for you, especially write an essay, it does. So now the young people are no longer utilizing their brains, using the upstairs skills to do their work. So when it's time for you to go out into the real world, how are you going to survive? Because ChatGPT don't save you all the time. And some of their information can be incorrect, especially with numbers. And he sat her down there and he said, hey, and the term coming up, right, answer these questions. And she was lost in damnation, confused. Because she was so depending on ChatGPT. So he said, when it's time for you to go into the exam room, how are you going and make out? Because you can't go in with your phone. Young people today are not utilizing their upstairs. I thought Google was bad, but AI horrible. Yes, it helps in some forms, but people are so depending and dependable on it that they no longer use their brains. But we're going into the story after the break, and I have some videos to show you. And I'm applaud Norway, another country, standing their ground on child's education. We'll be right back.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us.
Let's get straight to the point. I am Dale Edwards, Dale the Voice, and we're going to get straight to the point right here on Real TV. Join me Monday to Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. when we talk the hard truth. We're not beating around the bush. We're getting straight to the point, dealing with real issues, social, politics, and much more. Monday to Friday, the only place to be is right here on Real TV.
I am Walter Stewart, President of the Trinidad and Tobago National Council of Parent-Teacher Associations Incorporated. Join us every Thursday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Real TV, where we look at NPTA Speaks, National Parent-Teacher Association Speaks, on topical and relevant issues pertaining to parents, teachers, education, and students of Trinidad and Tobago. This, of course, encapsulates local, regional, and international audiences every Thursday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Real TV NPTA Speaks.
Behind every mistake, there's a person. And behind every struggle, there's a story waiting to be told. This is Redemption, a road to rehabilitation and recovery, where honesty meets hope and change begins. I am Prem Badru. I was a part of the problem, and now I want to be part of the solution. So join me on Real TV every Thursday at 6 p.m. See you there.
So they said, Norway will introduce strict limits on generative AI in schools this August, banning its use for students aged 6 to 13 and requiring teacher supervision those up to age 16. The government says young students should focus on developing core skills like reading, writing, and mathematics without relying on AI assistance. Officials argue that early dependence on AI could interfere with critical thinking and long-term learning development. The policy follows Norway's successful school smartphone ban, which was associated with better academic performance, reduced bullying, and improved student well-being by prioritizing traditional learning methods over rapid AI adoption. Norway is becoming one of the first Western countries to place clear legal limits on AI use in classrooms. Reduce critical thinking. If teens rely too heavily on AI tools to answer questions, write essays, or solve problems, they may not develop important skills such as analysis, problem solving, and independent thinking. Academic dishonesty. AI can make it easier to cheat on an assignment by generating essays, homework answers, or projects. This can undermine learning and lead to unfair academic practices. Misinformation and errors. AI system can sometimes provide incorrect, misleading, or biased information. Teenagers may accept AI-generated answers as accurate without verifying them from reliable sources. Privacy risk. Many AI apps collect user data. Teens may unintentionally share personal information, photos, or conversations that could be stored, analyzed, or used in ways they do not fully understand. Overdependence on technology. Excessive reliance on AI can make teenagers less likely to develop skills such as research, writing, communication, and decision-making on their own. Mental health concerns. Spending too much time interacting with AI-powered platforms on social media, algorithms may contribute to isolation, anxiety, unrealistic expectations, or reduce face-to-face social interactions. Exposure to harmful content. Some AI systems may generate inappropriate, biased, or harmful content. Despite safeguards, teens may encounter information that is inaccurate, offensive, or unsuitable for their age. Job and skills concern. As AI automates certain tasks, teenagers may worry about future career opportunities. Some traditional entry-level jobs and skills could become less valuable, requiring adaptation to new technologies. So, come back to me. These are some points, and I'm telling you, it's all more points, eh? These are some points that how dangerous AI could be. And a lot of teenagers using AI for some dangerous videos. And not to stray too much, I even saw one the other day that I found very disgusting. I don't care if it's comical, if it's a nice little political banter, but it was disgusting. Where you use the former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and the current Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago lay down on a bed in a romantic way with their faces. Very disgusting. You will start off using it for a little comics or for something nice, clean fun. And then people like to take it further and disrespect. It doesn't matter if you don't like, you like. But when it is that you are using the AI to disrespect the leaders, you have them in a romantic way on a bed lying down with alcohol. And that's funny, and I see people sharing it and I found it very disgusting. And that is what people sit down using AI for. For that sort of nonsense. I ain't gonna lie. I like to go on Facebook and watch my AI. There are some African series. There are some African series. Sometimes there are some English series, British series. I like to go and watch. But at the most, you're going to see me doing that with AI. You see all them sort of other nonsense that people like to be posting and creating? They really say technology will destroy this world, and it is. It is creating a destruction where people could take your face and put it on the next body. And if a lot of people are not sensible, they can't believe it's you. And at some point, there must be some law to limit these actions. But I have a clip there for you, and I want to play that clip. That may take us into the break one time. But when we're coming back, we're talking about AI. And I'm really, really happy. Norway is not the only country. There are so many other countries. So many other countries that has banned and put limitations to AI. Look at this clip. Yeah.
Have you ever spoken to someone and they didn't seem to hear you? Until you moved closer, looked them straight in the eyes, and suddenly they were paying attention? Or maybe you thought your child was too busy to hear you, but then you found out they had memorized every single word you said? Or perhaps, like me, you were the kind of child who needed to touch everything, smell, taste, feel the world around you, leaving your parents in a constant state of panic? These are not just some random habits. This is how we learn. Some of us learn best when we see, some when we hear, and some, like me, when we experience things with our hands. But in today's world, our eyes do most of the work. Screens are everywhere. Now, let me ask you a question. Who here checks their phone every hour? Of course, not me. I'm just 11. I don't check my phone every hour. But here's where things get interesting. AI is here. AI is transforming education. And it's happening fast. Estonia has already announced that by September 2025, over 20,000 students and 3,000 teachers will have free access to AI tools in education. And right now, anyone with a device can use AI. But is this a good thing or a bad thing? Imagine this. What if instead of a teacher, we had AI run in the classroom? AI doesn't get tired, AI doesn't forget things. AI can explain the same thing 100 different times in 100 different ways using different examples, different voices, making learning fun and interactive. AI could be the perfect teacher, right? Sounds amazing, doesn't it? Well, not so fast. Because I spoke to some experts, people who study how children learn. And they told me something very important. We don't just learn from words. We learn from emotions. Think about it. When someone says, "I'm fine," do they always mean it? Or do you look at their faces, hear the way they say it, and feel something is wrong? Our teachers do the same. They don't just teach us facts, they teach us through emotions. If I stand here like this, you know something's wrong, right? And if I do this, you feel welcomed. No words needed. Also, when my mom raises an eyebrow, I already know I might be in trouble. No way I can do that. Studies show that learning happens best when emotions are involved. When a child doesn't feel any emotion from the teacher, good or bad, they lose interest in learning. And AI has no feelings. Did you know that ants and bees talk through chemicals? They release smells called pheromones that tell each other where to go. Mammals, like dogs or horses, they use sound and touch. Chimps, they go even further. They make eye contact. But humans, we are different. We don't just communicate. We change how another person feels with our words. Imagine something bad happens at school or in this world. A real teacher sees how we react. They explain it to us. They help us understand. AI doesn't know how we feel. It can't adjust to the mood of the classroom. And this matters because education is not just about learning facts. It's about transforming knowledge into life skills. There's something else. Screens, AI, too much technology at a young age can be dangerous. It can be addictive, even more than some drugs. If we don't use AI wisely, it can take over instead of helping us. So, is AI good or bad for education? The answer is neither. AI is a tool, and like any tool, it depends on how we use it. AI can be an amazing assistant, but never a replacement for a real teacher. AI can help us learn, but only if used responsibly. So don't fear AI in education. Use it, but use it wisely. And most importantly, never forget that the best learning happens when we connect face-to-face, heart-to-heart. Thank you.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us.
Let's get straight to the point. I am Dale Edwards, Dale the Voice, and we're going to get straight to the point right here on Real TV. Join me Monday to Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. when we talk the hard truth. We're not beating around the bush. We're getting straight to the point, dealing with real issues, social, politics, and much more. Monday to Friday, the only place to be is right here on Real TV.
I am Walter Stewart, President of the Trinidad and Tobago National Council of Parent Teacher Associations Incorporated. Join us every Thursday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Real TV, where we look at NPTA Speaks, National Parent Teacher Association Speaks, on topical and relevant issues pertaining to parents, teachers, education, and students of Trinidad and Tobago. This, of course, encapsulates local, regional, and international audiences every Thursday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Real TV, NPTA Speaks.
Behind every mistake, there's a person. And behind every struggle, there's a story waiting to be told. This is Redemption, a road to rehabilitation and recovery, where honesty meets hope and change begins. I am Prem Badri. I was a part of the problem, and now I want to be part of the solution. So join me on Real TV every Thursday at 6 p.m. See you there.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect the official views of Real TV, its management, or affiliates. Content is provided for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised.
So, let's talk about the advantages of AI evolution and why it's becoming such a big deal in our world today. AI can do tasks very quickly and accurately, like analyzing data, answering questions, or even driving cars. AI helps doctors detect diseases early through medical scans. AI doesn't get tired. It can work all day and night without breaks. Chatbots on websites answer customer questions anytime. AI systems follow instructions exactly, so they make fewer mistakes than people if they're properly designed. In factories, robots perform the same job perfectly every time. AI can take over repetitive or risky jobs, keeping humans safe and saving time. Robots can explore deep oceans or defuse bombs. AI helps scientists, artists, and inventors create new things, from medicines to music. These days, AI tools can actually write stories, compose songs, or even suggest research ideas. Now let's talk about some of the disadvantages of AI evolution. As AI takes over more and more tasks, a lot of people might end up losing their jobs, especially those working in routine or manual roles. So self-driving trucks could, actually replace truck drivers. AI can inherit human biases if it's trained on biased data. This is honestly a pretty big disadvantage of AI. Some facial recognition systems just don't work well on people with darker skin tones. AI systems can track personal data or spy without people knowing. Smart devices might record conversations or monitor behavior. 1. Sometimes people might rely a bit too much on AI and, well, they could end up losing really important skills like thinking critically or solving problems. When students use AI to write their essays, they might actually stop learning how to write themselves. AI just doesn't get human feelings or values. It follows logic, not compassion, and that's a pretty big difference. So, an AI judge may give fair results based on data, but it won't really show mercy or understanding, which can be kind of a problem.
So, that was just some clips there. Because me talking alone, I want you to further understand. As I say, the advantages and the disadvantages. But we're touching on the disadvantages right now. And the young lady who shared her piece at a convention, she said, AI as a teacher, and people have to understand, your children, there are some children when they go to school, they love, especially when you have a very good teacher, a teacher that is compassionate, a teacher that is loving, a teacher that is understanding. You're eager to go to school to see your teacher, and your teacher give you that motherly hug or that auntie hug or that grandma figure hug. And you tend to feel that warmth, and it helps with your learning ability, making you want to learn because you're getting that love and affection in the classroom. AI, on the other hand, as she said, it has no feelings, no emotions. So you just come into school to learn. You just come into school to hear a computer with no emotions, an emotionless computer, to teach you. And to be honest, as a human being, you will get bored. Because there's no interaction where your teacher might crack a joke to break the ice. And that interaction between you and the teacher and you and your classmates is a totally different feeling. So they say exposure to harmful content. Some AI systems may generate inappropriate bias and harmful content despite safeguard teens and encounter information, when I said that before. Job and skills concerns. As AI automates certain tasks, teenagers may worry about future career opportunities. Some traditional entry-level jobs and skills could become less valuable, requiring adoption to new technologies. Creativity challenges. While AI can assist with creative work, overusing it can discourage teenagers from practicing their own writing, artistic, and musical or problem-solving abilities. And that's what I told you. When my friend was discussing and he said he had to put his niece sit down and ask her, she was so lost and dependent on these AI apps that she sat there in that chair clueless. Because now their brains tend to get lazy. The ability to work physically using the upstairs, they no longer know how to utilize it. Sometimes I use the computer or the internet to get information. But what I know, I had 24 encyclopedias or a little more than that in my house, where I will still go back in the encyclopedia to get information, to make sure that the information is accurate and it matches. Sometimes the numbers will change. It's different. But nothing can beat back a good encyclopedia. Because, as they said before, the information can be inaccurate. You can't depend on that. And even if you use it, check on other database online to compare the notes and see which one is right, which one wrong, where you need to fix, where you need to make changes. But young people today don't know how to do that. They're so fixated and addicted to these AI apps that they no longer know how to utilize their own brain. AI is a powerful tool, but teenagers benefit most when they use it as a support for learning rather than a replacement for thinking, creativity, and personal effort. Developing digital literacy, fact-checking skills, and healthy technology habits can help reduce these advantages. But then, there's another group that beg to differ. They said AI have a lot of advantages. They say improved learning. AI can explain difficult concepts, answer questions, and provide personalized learning support. It can help students learn at their own pace and better understand school subjects. We're not saying no, but there need to be some limitations and a proper crackdown in how students use AI systems today. Because you all will go out there into the world of work like deer in headlights and headless chickens. Nobody not saying AI is a totally bad thing, you know. There's always pros and cons to everything in life. Too much of one thing, it ain't good. So this is what they're saying. Increased productivity. AI tools can help teenagers organize schedules, create study plans, summarize information, and manage tasks more efficiently, saving time and improving organization. Access to information. Teenagers can quickly access a wide range of knowledge on various topics, helping them research projects and explore interests and stay informed. We're not saying no. We ain't saying no, but we have to have limitations. No, we didn't totally ban AI, you know. But they have limitations to how students use AI in their country. Because they believe in the traditional way a child's supposed to learn and use their brains, exercise their study skills in the proper way. Because everything you do, when you do it half-cracked, when you do half-cracked shot work, you think that you will feel accomplished. Because AI did it for you. But what you're doing, you're cheating your own self. When it's time for you to go into an interview, AI can't help you, you know. Because in an interview with a panel of 5 to 6 or 7 people, they're going to ask you questions, and it's how you're going to answer it, because AI can't help you. When we went to the Mexican embassy with our young girls, and we did a mock interview with them, made them dress like if they are going for an interview, come with their resume. We saw some of them outside there going into their phones and asking ChatGPT what questions it is asked in an interview. That's to tell you how dependent they were. And we decided to get a basket and take the phone. Because you have to prepare yourself how you are going to speak, how you are going to answer. And all this is educating yourself, not depending on a computer to answer for you. But we're going for a break. And when we come back, we have a next video to show. So this is now they're saying the advantages of AI. And then we will go and I will let you know the countries that ban AI for their young people to become better people in the future. We'll be right back.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us. I am Zalisa Budusing Rupani, inviting you to join me for the rebirth of Apne Sitare, Our Stars. a vibrant and spectacular show celebrating the incredible local talents of the sons and daughters of Trinidad and Tobago. Experience the beauty of our culture through singing, dancing, and musical performances as we keep the arts alive and shining bright. Tune in right here on Real TV every Sunday from 1 p.m. for Apne Sitare, Our Stars. See you there.
Behind every mistake, there's a person. And behind every struggle, there's a story waiting to be told. This is Redemption, a road to rehabilitation and recovery, where honesty meets hope and change begins. I am Prem Badru. I was a part of the problem, and now I want to be part of the solution. So join me on Real TV every Thursday at 6 p.m. See you there.
In a world full of noise, choose clarity. The Real News digital publication is your choice for important news coverage. From influential figures shaping our nation to a powerful week in review that keeps you informed. The weekly edition is available for download on all of our social media platforms. Smart, sharp, essential. Real News digital publication. Stay informed, stay educated, stay empowered.
This probably isn't what comes to mind when you think of an average school day. Kids breathing fire,
Find a spot for your foot.
climbing a rock wall, and even learning the art of grilling. But for students at the Alpha School in Austin, Texas, this is no field day. Here, K through 12th graders are proudly cutting classes, spending just 2 hours a day learning math, science, reading, and writing, all with the help of an AI tutor and without a single teacher.
Morning launch time.
Mackenzie Price is the co-founder of Alpha School and its 2-hour learning program.
This is a school without teachers.
We have no teachers at our schools. Can you believe that?
The Educators are a suite of AI-powered apps that gamify lessons, monitor progress, and with the help of eye tracking, keep tabs on students' attention span.
Who's teaching you?
I think the app is teaching me, but I'm also teaching myself.
All as adult guides, many of which have never been teachers, look on without interfering with their robot counterparts.
Are you comfortable having guides in the classroom that don't necessarily know the core curriculum?
It's okay that our guides aren't experts in physics or math or whatever they're doing. They are experts in their students.
It almost sounds like the guides here are told, you're here to lead the kids to AI.
Our guides are not allowed to teach. They are coaching students to become self-driven learners.
Price says the AI tutor personalizes lessons for each student, allowing them to learn class material in half the time, and according to data from Alpha, score in the 90th percentile on standardized tests in most grade levels.
This one's a little unusual.
It all comes as students nationwide grapple with AI's role. While some critics say it's too soon to know if the tech's having a positive effect in classrooms, one study found generative AI tutors can sometimes inhibit learning if students become too reliant on the tool.
How do you make sure that the AI that is teaching kids is doing what it's supposed to be doing?
We have a lot of guardrails in place to make sure that kids are not dealing with some of the issues that come with what we hear about with AI.
Still, at Alpha, where tuition costs $40,000 a year, academics are just the beginning.
This is called our check chart.
Each student must complete a long list of tasks before they can level up, including things like run a mile without stopping, solve a Rubik's Cube, and even
independently put together a piece of IKEA furniture.
All in an effort to teach life skills and promote passion projects.
Welcome to the Alpha School Airbnb.
Like this group of 6th graders who are running a real Airbnb.
How old are you?
I'm 11.
You're 11?
Yeah.
And how much money did you guys make with this Airbnb?
So we have $10,000 of confirmed bookings.
Over at Alpha High School,
You made an app. Wait,
I developed an app.
16-year-olds Elle and Sloan are getting ready to pitch an AI-enabled app that gives dating advice.
I want to ask my crush out to prom in front of all of her friends. Is that a good idea?
It really depends on her personality.
So you've been learning from AI, and now you're building your own AI?
Yes.
A full circle experiment, putting these AI academics in a class of their own.
Yeah, a lot to take in there. And as a parent, I was a little sketched out seeing those little kids locked into their laptops with their headphones on. We used to have sustained silent reading back in the day. This is way beyond that because these are gamified, interactive apps. So the kids are given full attention. And Price says they only do that for 2 hours a day. They break those up into these 20-minute intervals. The rest of the day is spent in those workshops, collaborating with others, learning life skills. Actually, on the day we visited, some of the high school students we're going through this rejection workshop where they would pitch strangers on the street their passion projects. AI, not so great at teaching how to get rejected, but something we humans are still pretty good at, I guess.
Yeah, fair. We are. All right, Gotti.
Sure.
Thank you, Gotti.
We got to figure out how to strike a balance.
I was just about to say,
strike a balance.
and we need to figure it out, guys. Like, I feel like I'm talking about it every
freak out about technology, but
That video there, I really don't know how to feel about it. I think it had me a bit traumatized. It had me traumatized in the sense where if my child go into an AI school, my child is going to develop no communication skills, isolation, antisocial behavior, because you only communicating with a computer. And then make it worse, my child always has to be by eye doctor. Because you telling me a child behind a computer all day, using AI to learn. All you realize since the pandemic, I'm wearing glasses now. Optometrists and they're making money like peas after the SOE, the pandemic. So many children using glasses because their eye on this computer all day. My child going to grow up not even learning how to communicate with me and isolated. I can remember many days when I was in primary school, we saw silent reading, we used to go in the library. That used to be an excitement. You're leaving your class and you're going to the school's library, or they take you to the National Library and you sit down, you pick up a book and you sit down and you read. Read a book of your choice. What happened to that now? With the days for them thing gone. So you mean to tell me my child going to communicate with a computer with no feelings? I am traumatized. But we're going on to the advantages because I'm telling you I'm being fair. I don't agree with it. But this is the advantages they say they have. So they say enhance creativity. AI can assist with writing stories, generating ideas, creating art, composing music, and brainstorming projects, encouraging creative expression and experimentation. Language learning support. AI-powered tools can help teens practice new languages through conversation, translation, grammar, correction, and vocabulary exercises. Career exploration. AI can provide information about careers, educational pathways, required skills, and job trends, helping teenagers make informed decisions about their future. Accessibility and inclusion. AI tools can support students with disabilities by offering features such as text-to-speech, speech-to-text, captioning, and personalized learning assistance. Let me tell you this. Some children with learning disabilities, especially autism, I strongly believe AI is not suitable. Because children with autism, some of their cases, they are very antisocial, they isolate themselves and they don't communicate much. Because you have to remember, they are in their own little world of creativity. So they tend to isolate themselves from sometimes family members, school friends. They are very to themselves. So you now bring in something to them that can make their behavioral patterns worse. It will make it worse for them. I don't even like my family member, and he's autistic, to be watching YouTube and behind a game all day. I would tell him, come off for that and come and talk to your family. Come and play with your cousins. Communicate. Because that is how they are. Some of them, they are very isolated. And then you want to bring AI to make it worse? For them to be behind a computer, talking to a computer, and they don't talk to the family. They don't really mix up with people, and then want them behind a computer. If it's something with speech therapy, because I know, as I told you, speech therapy is very expensive in Trinidad and Tobago. So if you can get it through AI to assist, so okay, fine. But I'm going to send my child to school who's autistic to talk to a computer all day when he don't talk to nobody in the family. The communication is very short. To be behind a computer all day, to make matters worse, to make my life more difficult, make it make sense. Skill development. They said using AI can help teenagers develop important modern skills, including digital literacy, technology awareness, problem solving, and adaptability. Personalized assistance. AI can act as a tutor, study partner, or coach, offering tailored feedback and guidance based on teenagers' individual needs and goals. But then you're teaching your child not to communicate within a group. Having group studies and group projects, all of that is a learning process and development for when your child go out there to work with other people in the workplace. Because the first thing that is asked if is a team player. One of the main questions they ask if is a team player. So if AI helping you to be a coach and a study partner, how are you going out there to be a team player? Let me make it make sense. But we're going for a break. And when we come back, we're talking about AI today. Stay tuned.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us. In a world full of noise, choose clarity. The Real News digital publication is your choice for important news coverage. From influential figures shaping our nation to a powerful week in review that keeps you informed. The weekly edition is available for download on all of our social media platforms. Smart, sharp, essential. Real News digital publication. Stay informed, stay educated, stay empowered.
Let's get straight to the point. I am Dale Edwards, Dale the Voice, and we're going to get straight to the point right here on Real TV. Join me Monday to Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. when we talk the hard truth. We're not beating around the bush. We're getting straight to the point, dealing with real issues, social, politics, and much more. Monday to Friday, the only place to be is right here on Real TV.
Hello everyone, I am the Reverend Clifford Rawlins, minister of the Diego Martin United Church and a published author. I am inviting you to to join me on Real TV for Honest to God, where we are honest with what Scripture is and says, and addressing topical issues in Christianity in a postmodern context and post-colonial Caribbean landscape. Provocative, controversial, stimulating, and above all, openly honest. Every Tuesday at 2 to 3 p.m. right here on Real TV.
Honest to God, I'm coming clean. Honest to God.
Every day, it seems, there's a new, bewildering or frightening story about AI in the news. How it's going to steal our jobs, spread internet fakery on a colossal scale, and generally take over the world. But what exactly is AI, artificial intelligence? And are the scare stories even true?
5 things you really need to know about AI. AI is as old as your grandparents.
So, the first thing to know is that AI has been around a lot longer than you might think. Its roots lie in an idea known as an artificial neural network from the 1940s. A neural network is a bit like a team of interconnected workers that learn to solve problems. Each time they come up with a possible solution, it's marked. If there's room for improvement, they adjust and change their connections. Over time, the network becomes more efficient. And technology powered by neural networks is all around us, right now. It suggests movies and music we might like. It recognises faces and objects when taking photos on smartphones, enabling features like facial recognition. It's heavily used by social media platforms to personalise our feeds. More recently, a form of AI known as generative AI is powering applications that can seemingly create new data. It can also power chatbots like OpenAI's ChatGPT and Google's Bard, which give human-like responses to questions. These are getting better at interacting with us and seemingly more human-like. This can seem scary, but it's worth knowing. Point 2.
AI can't feel or think.
If you ask ChatGPT a question like this one, why should we be concerned about AI? It does a pretty good job of providing a response that appears logical. And with that convincing human-like response, it's easy for us to believe it understands what it's saying, that it has feelings and motivations. It's understandable that we do this, but it's worth remembering. Right now, AI can't think or feel, can't love or hate. ChatGPT and its counterparts are sophisticated sentence completion apps that analyse our patterns of communication and provide responses similar to the way humans would typically reply. A bit like a talking parrot. Which leads us to point number 3.
AI makes stuff up.
Chatbots can have an awkward relationship with the truth, technically known as AI hallucinations. You could also describe it as making stuff up. The core of the technology is a model that uses probability to predict the next word, sentence, or paragraph. It can generate seemingly plausible replies, but lacks the ability to assess truthfulness or the accuracy of its responses. So, anyone thinking of using chatbots to write content needs to be careful they're not incorporating credible-sounding BS that can be easily spotted by someone who's actually done the research.
AI can sound racist and sexist.
The idea of a racist machine might seem far-fetched. But if AI is trained on data that's racist, biased, or hateful, then its output will be too. As we all know, racism, bias, and hateful content can be found in abundance online. In 2016, Microsoft launched an experimental chatbot called Tay, but quickly pulled the plug after it made racist and offensive remarks. It learnt to do this from interacting with users on social media. Microsoft apologized and promised to implement improved safety features in future. This is why the ethical framework that governs any AI application is incredibly important, and why many are calling for safeguards to prevent bias and hate speech to be built into AI systems.
AI has incredible potential.
For all the notes of caution, it can be easy to forget there's many potential benefits to AI. It's set to truly revolutionise healthcare. AI has already discovered new drugs and is being used to identify cancer cells much more reliably than humans. And AI chatbots can behave like patient teachers when we struggle to understand a complex topic, summarising huge volumes of information for us. The AI revolution has the potential to enhance and speed up work in many fields, from software programming to animation to law enforcement and journalism. This has pluses and minuses, of course, but could this extra capacity free us up to do other things, like tackling climate change or looking after ourselves and each other better? As AI advances, governments and regulators will of course need to make sure it's being used ethically and legally. No easy feat. But will AI take over the world? Don't forget, AI is a tool, and even a powerful tool can't take over the world on its own. It's up to us to decide how we use it, or even if we should use it at all.
And I like that last statement. They said if AI would take over the world, but it all depends on how we use it. And sometimes when something is given to us, or something is brought to us on the internet where we can utilize it for free, we tend to take advantage of it and destroy people's lives, people's character. We tend to go overboard. So these are the countries that have restrictions or bans on AI chatbots. China is one. Censorship, control of information and support for domestic AI systems. North Korea, strict control of internet access and information. But we know North Korea is a communist country, so they ain't going to have no, they limit the things that people have access to in their country. Iran, internet restrictions, sanctions, and government control of online content. Syria, internet control, sanctions, and regulatory restrictions. Cuba, government restrictions on internet services and access. Russia, concerns about information control, security, and restrictions related to foreign technology. Countries that temporarily restricted AI. Italy temporarily blocked ChatGPT in 2023 because of concerns about privacy, data collection, and age verification. The restriction was later lifted after changes were made. And that's what we're saying. It's not that you have to totally ban it, you know. But if we control what happens in our country, on our internet access points, you will see changes. Sometimes you have to have restrictions because people don't know. People tend to abuse things on the internet, take advantage. And sometimes it's for the wrong reasons, in a negative light. Countries restricting specific AI apps. Some governments have restricted certain AI products rather than AI in general. For example, Australia, South Korea, Taiwan. These countries have restricted the use of the Chinese AI chatbot DeepSeek on government devices because of security and data privacy concerns. And parents, all they don't even know the dangers all the children that be putting themselves in with AI. And when you see some of them things, that would tell you parents have to always pay attention to the things that their children do, the different apps that their children utilize. Because when you think that they are utilizing these apps to assist them with schoolwork, they're using it for the wrong reasons. And they don't know that they're setting themselves up for detriment in the long run. Pay attention. Why governments ban or restrict AI? Privacy concerns, worries about how personal data is collected and stored, misinformation, fear that AI can generate false or misleading information, national security, concerns that AI systems could expose sensitive information, government censorship, desire to control the flow of information, protection of local technology industries, encouraging domestic AI development instead of foreign AI services. And I'm going to tell you something. I use ChatGPT sometime, and I was looking for some information. And ChatGPT, information concerning my country today, and ChatGPT is very biased. Very biased. Because when sometimes you want a clear, neutral response, it gives you a biased response. That's why you cannot depend on it all the time. Because it could be real biased, especially when you're dealing with the social issues of Trinidad and Tobago. Sometimes take your phone and ask questions and say, do you think that we are seeing our way in Trinidad and Tobago in terms of, and just ask a question. And AI is ChatGPT real bias. That is why I don't believe in it all the time. Because you can't tell me, yes, we see in glory days. And right now we under penance. You're biased, don't be biased, stay neutral. But you say, you see me? I want to get in all the country bacchanal. So I really don't know. Better you tell me that. Better you tell me that. I don't want to hear no nonsense about, yes, we see in glory days and you know the country in penance. I don't know who changing up that ChatGPT app. But it is a very biased app when you ask certain questions that happens in Trinidad and Tobago. No major country has completely banned all AI technology. Most restrictions focus on specific AI tools, especially chatbots, due to concerns about privacy, security, misinformation, and information control. So that was the conclusion there. So I gave you all the advantages and the disadvantages. And if our authorities do not control how the AI system works in our country, bet your bottom dollar, it is going to destroy a lot of young people. Right here. All them things they're showing you there about AI helping, watch and you're going to see what is going to happen in the next 10 years with that same said AI. And more countries are going to put restrictions and more countries are going to put a ban. So that was the close. But we're going for a break. And before we close off on the last leg, I have something I want to address. Because social media talking about it and I didn't know until I heard and saw. And I'm telling you, this is not for the young child, this is for the parents. We'll be right back.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us.
Hello, everyone. I am the Reverend Clifford Rawlins, minister of the Diego Martin United Church and a published author. I am inviting you to join me on Real TV for Honest to God, where we are honest with what Scripture is and says, and addressing topical issues in Christianity in a postmodern context and post-colonial Caribbean landscape. Provocative, controversial, stimulating, and above all, openly honest. Every Tuesday at 2 to 3 p.m. right here on Real TV.
God, I'm coming clean, honest to God.
Let's get straight to the point. I am Dale Edwards, Dale the Voice, and we're going to get straight to the point right here on Real TV. Join me Monday to Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. when we talk the hard truth. We're not beating around the bush. We're getting straight to the point, dealing with real issues, social, politics, and much more. Monday to Friday, the only place to be is right here on Real TV.
Are you looking for the right space for your business? Fred's Plaza has the space you need. We offer professional rental spaces designed for growing businesses. Conveniently located in San Juan on the Eastern Main Road, opposite the PTSC terminal and between Royal Castle and Mario's. Easy access, high visibility. For inquiries, call or WhatsApp 868-384-7142 today, or visit Level 3 Fred's Plaza for details.
So welcome back, and I want to address this before I leave. There's a young girl who's 13 years old. They say she's talented. Upcoming artist. 13. I want to let you remember this number. 13 years old. With a song called Tight and Pretty. Use the imagination, because I want to explain it. Tight and Pretty with a video very explicit. With young girls rolling on the ground like tumbleweed. And with some explicit movements. 13 years old, living here in Trinidad and Tobago, where a lot of people find it very distasteful and disgusting. 13. But me blaming she, you know. I blaming the parents. But you can never tell me you have a 13-year-old going in a studio because she ain't going in a studio by herself. You know exactly what she was singing, who write the song, when she recorded, because somebody had to pay for it to get recorded and mastered and produced. And you as a parent have your 13-year-old daughter singing a song called Tight and Pretty. Use the imagination. And you sit down comfortable as a guardian, as a parent, whoever you may be, and you're comfortable with your 13-year-old daughter singing a song like that and beating her chest because she's proud. No guidance. No guidance. Well, I can't even play the song for you. I can't even play it. 13 years old. She could be about in Form 1, Form 2. Young girl. And when man start to attack all they want to know why all they get attacked. Or they just bring things on themselves. You as a parent, shame on you. And then all they want to blame poor Crazy. Crazy had to come out to defend himself. Play that clip for me now, please.
Yes. The little controversy we have with young Nai and this song that she sang, she's only 13 years old. I have nothing to do with the song. I will never tell young Nai to sing that song. But what happened is that song was recorded, among young people. And I don't agree with she singing that song. I want people to know that I have no involvement with that song. What I know about young Nai is she have the talent, she have the ability to be a big star coming in the future. We all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect, right? But I do not support that song that she's singing. I don't, what was the name? Pink and Pretty or whatever. But young Nai have the ability to make Trinidad and Tobago proud or internationally. And she also writes songs. She sings songs that other people write too, but she also, I wrote a song for her also. I was teaching her how to do parang soca and all these things. But she have the ability to be a big star here, you know, after the ones that we have, you know, who singing abroad internationally. She's only 13 years. So I believe that in the future, you will hear nice things about her. So let us forgive her, you know. And if I make anybody, you know, shame or anything like that, I apologize to all the people who thought that I was involved with these kind of lyrics, you know. All right.
13 years old. When I was 13 years old, I was watching things like Hannah Montana, Power Rangers, Girl Talk. We outside picking mango. I wasn't studying to sing nothing about tight and pretty. Anyway, my parents kind of different too, you know. You would get tight and pretty too hard lash. 13 years old and your parents sit down and make it worse. She have a proper video, a proper music video. And all they sit down as parents, as adults, and encouraging that kind of slackness. Shame on all you. I didn't even know about the song is over the weekend because I tell you, I don't take on them. You see them kind of thing? I don't entertain them thing. When I open my phone, somebody sent it to me, they said, Naka girl, you need to see this. I didn't even know the girl was a Trinidadian. I said, who's this? I didn't even know she was 13. When they told me her age and I hear any words of that song, even before I came back here, before the break, I was listening to the words and I am still in shock. You need to go to some Sunday school. You need some Sunday school because I don't know where you're going to school and what you be doing in school. That you sitting down and writing a song like that. Your parents need legs. It's real shameful. It's real shameful. When I saw the video just now there and see them little young girls patting and rolling like tumbleweed all over the place. And then I must spend my money to come and see and listen to you. But I'd rather buy peas and shell. I'd rather buy a bag of peas, 2 crockers, bag of peas and shell it than come and spend my money to listen to that nonsense. 13 years old. So where you going to live for when you get older? It really distasteful. When I hear it, I was in shock. I didn't even know because you know them through anything growing much. They're looking like big woman and man. I was in shock to see a 13-year-old on a video like that. And the amount of explicits in that song, it was really distasteful. And then I had to go on social media. I said, let me go on social media to see if anybody talking about it. And if there was not one positive comment about that teenage girl. Not one. The only thing you might see is the little friends, wherever they said their name on social media, was defending her, and I'm sure that's classmates. Everybody else cried on that song, and shame on the parents, and shame on the person who sat down and even produced that song. Knowing her age. Come Trinidad and Tobago, we could do better than that. We have plenty talented people. She seemed to be a very talented young lady. She seemed to be she could be a good songwriter. Go and write a calypso about your schoolwork. And stop telling me about tight and pretty, even though I get so vexed, I vex again. But thank you so much, Trinidad and Tobago, for staying locked on with us. I appreciate you guys. Remember, always be humble in everything that you do. Make God the center of everything that you do. Be safe out there. Be vigilant. Be aware. You all win a SOE. Let me just play it smart and play it safe. Right? Just know God is love, God is light. You know, I have to leave you all with my regular song. Because we had to change the change. And we had to change that nonsense that young lady singing. They sing something positive from a place. You seem talented. Use it upstairs. But thank you guys. Same time, same place tomorrow, please the Lord. Bye.
I started to run when I scope out my country. I walk by a gun, ole, 'cause that is what they promise we. A lot's going on in the sun, so I come here to bring wisdom, so we don't burn down. We lovely society. A new government has the assignment to put the country into alignment. But every time they read us with their ego, it's the vulnerable who feeling that below. Lord, is it ignorance or is it arrogance? I don't know what to call it in this instance. Look at paradise right in front of we eyes, but we still want to talk about who we despise. Tell me where else can we go? If we start to mash up the good things we know. Tell me where else can we go? If we treat we traditions like a Barbie show, you could fix everything on we island. Put gunships on we back like a tyrant. You could put 10 radars all up Scarborough.
And opinions expressed in the preceding program were those of the hosts, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect the official views of Real TV, its management, or affiliates. Content was provided for informational and entertainment purposes only.